Hi folks, and welcome to Beautiful Lawns. So I'm Alex Archibald. We got Chris here, and we're doing something a little bit different. Today we're working underneath this deck. It's 17 years old, and it's seen a lot of weather damage, and a lot of bits and pieces have been replaced and bandaged up. And the owner said they want to get 6 more years. 6 more years. I don't know what the significance is. This is the carpentry division of Beautiful Lawns, and you can see the boards on top here. They were supported by a little piece of wood that had rotted away. And so now there's some more. What do you call these, Chris?
Which ones?
These boards that you put going across here.
Dead men, I guess you call them.
Dead men. And we have a couple of boards to replace for as well.
The joist is rotted out here at the end, so like it's not going to take the weight. A couple of the other ones were out bad. It's not going to take the weight here for very much longer. So what I'm going to do is put this in and make it as one with the other joist back here where it's good, and it'll sit on the top here, so it'll pick up the weight from here to there. It's not ideal, but it's the way you can repair a joist if it's not too far gone.
And how long do you think that'll last?
6 years.
As the customer has requested.
That's it, 6 years and you're done. And we'll do a $30,000 deck.
So we have, what is this, a DeWalt?
It's DeWalt Flex Volt, 40 volt. I think it's got the 40 volt. We got the 40 volt, 20 volt, 60 max, 60 volt max, 6 amp hour. We got the 9 amp hours. 9 amp hour battery lasts the 8-hour shift. Continuous cutting. You really can't beat it.
DeWalt 40 volt cordless circular saw, brushless.
Yeah.
And there you go. One more. How many more to go?
No. Not sure yet. It's hard to tell once you start getting into it. You really find things that you didn't expect to find. Just measuring to put the piece in to hold the ends of the boards. 12 3/4. This will stop the rot from getting in the end of the thing. So it'll last 6 years. Like that. And then screw these boards down to this from the above side. So I'm just giving myself something to screw to. Oh, you can see they're almost rotted through almost all the way. I can almost stick my finger through. Pretty soon she's going to be calling us to change those too.
Yeah.
We should change them anyway. We should change them now. Like, you know the best. They come back, it's a brand new deck. You got a brand new deck. It's not quite $20.
They'd love it though. It's a pretty big deck as well. How many square feet would you say this deck is?
Oh, man, this is bigger than my house.
Yeah. We'll take some shots from outside. Yeah. See what it looks like.
Actually, yeah. How are you, man? Oh, this deck. This deck is big. It's a big deck. Big deck. I don't understand how this didn't work out. That was painful. That was painful. That was painful.
If you're having a hard time, somebody who's not experienced with it would probably find that very challenging. To screw in on an angle like that. Especially when you don't have much space with the drill to fit in there.
There it is. Done. One more here. Okay. There's that. Next step.
What are you looking for now?
I'm just getting moving. If the joist is good in the bottom, like this one.
Yeah.
This one's really good. From here, look right here. Right here, you see that? That's not good. That's why I put this piece in. See, this piece is solid now. When you look at it, it's solid. All right, but this one, when you look at this one's not like that. This one's not crumbling and scratching off like that. I'm trying to do it with a budget in mind. Yeah. This one, see this one, how it's damaged. You can see the damage on it. Right? That's what happens. And we don't want that. So we put the good piece under it and then screw it to the other joist to make it as one with the other joist. What is that? It's making some noise, isn't it?
I'm not sure what it is.
It's making noise though. I don't know that. It's a noise-making bird.
The only lake birds that I can think of that make noises would be like a loon, duck, that sort of thing. I don't think that's what that is. So there's a little optical illusion here. If you look at the posts with the lattice in behind, it almost looks like the posts are vibrating.
That's my hammer there.
These are DeWalt tools that we're using today and abusing. And they seem to take the punishment pretty well.
They love it. Not only do they take the punishment well, they love the punishment. I've had this drill for how many years now? A few years I've had it. We dropped one off of the freaking building one time. And I'll tell you right now. When the Makita hits the ground, this whole bottom thing breaks right off.
No, really?
When the DeWalt hits the ground, it kind of like, nothing really breaks off. Like, you drop it like, oh, you okay?
Yep.
Yeah, see how it bounces? It bounces like a ball.
Well, that should be their new slogan. DeWalt bounces like a ball.
Yeah. Sorry, Makita, but yeah. So this one's really nice and solid. So we're just gonna like measure it here this time. 9 3/4. Shouldn't you generally use your leg as a bench? I'm a trained professional. But you shouldn't use your leg as a bench.
And why is that?
Oh, because you could cut your leg. You cut your leg.
Any other reasons?
Well, you cut your leg.
That's like the key. That's the main.
Or you could cut your leg. If you put the wood on your leg and you're cutting, pretty good chance you're gonna cut your leg. Okay.
Makes sense. You probably wouldn't make as good a cut either, right?
Well, I mean, I just do fine. But
particularly if you cut your leg.
you cut your leg. You don't need the anti-rot juice.
Nice. Cut and seal not needed if you cut your leg while you're using it as a bench.
There you go. Yeah. It's funny, but it's true. Pre-setting the screw, so it's a little easier for me.
You recommend that for somebody who's doing this for the first time?
I recommend it for somebody who's been doing it for 100 years. I would recommend using like something like lay your thing across like that, and then you can use that.
I notice you're going like pretty slow with the saw. Is there a particular reason for that?
Just want to make a good video.
Fair enough. I appreciate that.
DeWalt, we love you. No, you can't fucking beat it, man. When you smash them around like that, and you can still do this. That's good. Now, come and look at this one side here. We're missing one. We're missing one. Missing board. Here we go. I'm gonna measure there. See there where it says 13 and an 8. Got this like little split. I'm gonna cut that off first here. The split here. Because if I cut a short piece with the split in it, the split will fall, end up all the way. Sometimes the DeWalt drills just isn't enough. You need to pull with the bad boy. That's pretty tight, guys. Oh, it's too tight, I think. I think that's too tight, guys.
There's a funny story with this little hole here. And then it was all gone. It was hilarious. Hilarious. Some sort of seagull, maybe?
Oh, What makes that sound?
It almost sounded like two different guys.
What makes that sound, guys?
If you know, say in the comments below. I'd say that's pretty close.
It is. There's boys and girls. Let's see. I'm looking all the way across. Okay, come with me and we'll go up top and head take a look. We got these 2-inch deck screws right there. Those are the bad boys that we're going to use right now.
And this is where we are here today. This is the behemoth, if you will. If you look here, in comparison to Chris, yeah, it's rather large, and it's not just large; it's also complex. It has multiple different elevations, different.
That sound, guys. What's that? Yeah, that sound. These steps don't need to be replaced anymore.
Yeah, these
the boards don't need to be replaced, she says.
The initial assessment was that the boards needed to be replaced. Chris looked at it, and it was the stringers underneath that were actually rotten. He replaced those. And now the steps don't need to be replaced. The boards don't need replacement. But these ones here with the line on them do.
Yeah, you can see them. Understand, people? Well, how good this DeWalt drill is. I just want you to understand how good this drill is. Understand? You understand? This is freaking powerful, boys and girls.
The lines that are like this means that we need to do that bracing across here. You can see the lines here that were traced out for us to address. So this board still needs to be replaced. This has already been reinforced in underneath. You can feel, you see that line? You can feel that line too.
So now that we're up top, this is where we were underneath, where we were fixing it up. This is the upper stairs. That's really strong there. This is where we were fixing up, where all the boards just wanted to be crushed at the end. And this is the hole that you saw. That was the hole in the last piece that I put. So it's got this board going all the way across.
So you can imagine with this piece, and you didn't, what did you do here? Did you cut anything away?
No, I just shoved the piece up. This
so
is the piece here.
So to give you an idea of what this was screwed to, virtually nothing.
Yeah, see if we can unscrew these screws out of it. You gotta do this one. Oops. Don't need that one. Oh, watch this. So you can see what it's like. Oh, look, a joint. No, a piece of wood. and just like that. That's it. That's all it takes. One like that, one like that.
And this is going to make a night and day difference for sure. The boards felt like they were snapped every time you stepped near the edge, so that would lead you to avoid stepping on the edge and most likely tripping and falling. So it's really important to make sure that you fix any of these trip hazards before they become a serious injury.
So the mother-in-law doesn't get hurt.
That's right.
Don't want to hurt the mother-in-law. Don't want to give anybody any ideas.
So you can see from over here the different stages, the different levels that the carpenters had to deal with when building this. Would you say that that might have led to some of the rot?
What?
Because of the multiple level changes and that sort of thing?
Well, it's 17 years old. It's a 17-year-old deck. What's that got to do with the prices in China? Well, I mean, everything has its lifespan, right? And this one is getting there. But we're going to get 6 more years out of it and call it a nice day. So if you pick up your screws and you put them all in your hand the same way, like, mess around with them and get them the same way sometimes. And that's optimal for screwing. And then you're putting it in the gun the same way all the time. So you put your one screw. And then you got it that way again, so you can just pick up another screw. So you just come in, you get the screw like that, then you picked up another screw. And then you come and do it again and again. That's the move. Now you know. So it always happens. I got these knee pads from Reno. From Reno I got them. And I never thought Reno was gonna have anything I ever wanted. Ever.
Why do you say that?
Well, every time, oh man, don't get me started. You want to get me? Every time I go into Rona for like an item that they should be carrying, it always used to be like, oh, we don't have that. No, we don't stock that. No, that's not what we do. We don't do that. And it always seemed like it was always like that until the day they kind of changed a little bit and they started having bags, paper bags. Did they have paper bags that time? They didn't, did they though?
Just when you thought it was getting better.
Just when you thought they were giving you a good time, they slap you in the face.
How long have you had those knee pads?
They only last about 8 months if you're like constant use. If you're using them every single day, you're only getting 8 months out of them. Unless you're lucky, and you can get like a year, maybe a year and a half. But I always replace them after a little while because these little nubs break off. They got like this little nub. That's the strap, and the strap's like a rubber thing. And you just boop, and it pops off like that. And then if you want to, you can put the thing back on. You just bring it over the nub like this. They have an upper one and a lower one. But what I do is I take the upper ones off, and you can put them on the lower ones after the lower ones break. If you look inside there, you can see it's starting to break now. See that little slice in it? There's like a little slice in that right in the corner right there where my fingernail is, right? And that's where it breaks. So what I do is I take the other nubs off and I can shove them through the hole here. See how they go through the back? They go through from here. So if you're like King Kong, you can push that out through the hole when they're warm. You warm them up so they're stretchy. And then you push the other one through. And then you got 4 extra nubs. And then you don't use the top strap, so you got 2 extra straps. So when the strap's no good and it dries out, you know, you got back up everything.
Do you find they don't stay on your knees as well, though?
Stay on your knees better, and they don't bother the backs of your legs to be pinchy.
Interesting.
Yeah. Professional tip from professional carpenters. Feels like it should. Now what the heck is this now? We got the screw and it's like twisty bendy.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to do these ones. Trying to take it out, right? Doesn't want to come out because it's a twisty bendy.
Can you bang it back and forth and break it?
I think DeWalt's up to the task. DeWalt, you're my hero. Okay. Thought it was meant to go there.
There are some boards that are questionable, but not questionable enough to be replaced. So, yeah, this one here is very significant movement. And over here, another one. You can see right there. I'm going to be looking at this section from underneath. Give you some perspective. This is the back. This is the front. And let's go underneath now. You can see the front section of the deck is quite a bit lower, facing towards the water. So you come down here, and this is the gazebo, and this is the steps that were changed. These are the stringers here. Yeah, it's all good.
How'd that feel?
Good.
You like it?
Tasty. So these are the stringers here. They weren't replaced. They were, what were they, sistered to each other? Something like that. I'm not sure of the terminology.
Not allowed to tell you.
Okay, fair enough. It's understandable.
Hey guys. Fancy meeting you here. I want to show you what I found. I found this. It's a bird's nest. It's a bird's nest, guys. I found it. Here it is. Coming at you live. Beautiful on style.
What are we looking at under here?
I'm just trying to look and see where the boards are rotted out the most. Oh man. I don't know. See, this is the spot where the boards go into the corner and it's bad. Where she got the paint. She got the paint on along the sky, along this board here, above this, above here, all the way across here where the boards go perpendicular. That's perpendicular, math lesson. Parallel is when the two boards are going in the same direction. So this board is going this way. That means if I put another board going this way like that, they're going parallel to each other. This is perpendicular, 90 degrees like. And this is where the line was drawn, right above this. All the way from here, all the way across there. So I think I gotta rip these boards off of there and re-put a dead man joist like I've been putting. I heard of like sweeping it off so that you don't get any chunks underneath so that it can sit flat from the above, but I never thought I'd ever have to sweep it off from the bottom. I think I have to change it, don't I guys? I have to change these boards. Every one of them. One, 2, 3, 4. Over here, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
They're all a mess. They're all a mess. They don't want me to, but I have to. I wouldn't feel good about myself if I left it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty toast.
Paris framing it up in there. We got to frame up something in there to help hold it. So I'll put the saw on the 45 and we'll cut a couple pieces 45. See how that works for us. I'm going to get my measurement because the measurement should be the same. If I measure from in this inside corner to this corner, the measurement should be the same there as it is to this point to that point. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to shove our tape there, measure that out. We got 20 and a quarter. 20.